The smartest people I know are not the ones that know as much information as possible, but are the ones that can create new solutions to problems that have never been solved before. They have this ability to learn anything, and they can do it by teaching themselves. Hi, I'm Dr. Phil Price, and in this video I'm going to detail 6 key things I believe are essential to be able to teach yourself anything and realise your own level of genius. Now, I know a lot of intelligent people. Luckily, I work at a university where it's full of intelligent people. But one thing I've really noticed about the key people that I think are really, really intelligent versus those that kind of know a lot of stuff and they're very good in their area is the fact that certain people are able to teach themselves anything. Usually, they're the ones that have a particular problem that needs solving, a problem that no one has ever solved before. And they go around trying to get as much information as possible to try and solve that particular problem. They're not going to someone in particular, finding a particular way of doing things and then thinking, oh, I'll just copy and paste that. They're taking ideas, going through trial and error and creating their own solutions. And I think this is really impressive. It isn't like an exam where you try and memorize as much stuff as possible. These people are just able to synthesize loads of disparate pieces of information and create something brand new, which no one has done before. And that's what makes them so much more intelligent than someone that just knows a lot of stuff. So being fortunate with working with a few people that are just like this, what I've learned from them, I've managed to incorporate into my own way of learning, and I want to share those 6 things with you. Number 1, change your perception on how you learn things. Now, I've seen so many people put up their own barriers as to how they're able to learn, particularly in maths. They call it maths anxiety. Oh, I'm not very good at maths. Well, all of a sudden you aren't very good at maths because you've just told yourself you're not very good at maths. Yes, it may take you longer to learn maths than other topics or in comparison to other people, but that doesn't mean you can't learn it. Just learn at your own speed and you will actually get there. As soon as you change your perception around how you learn, you'll be able to actually learn anything, have the confidence just to stay at a particular task or a particular topic over a long period of time, and you'll be able to learn it. Just seeing other people be able to learn anything has made me realise I can actually learn anything. I just have to have the persistence to be able to do that and have the confidence that I can learn it at my own speed. Once I've done that, I feel I can learn loads of different topics, and that's exposed me to lots of new knowledge I can then synthesize into my own new ideas. Number 2, ask questions, and constantly. You need to be able to make sense of a lot of information, and if you're going to create new knowledge, you need to keep asking questions to be able to do that. If we're able to create new knowledge by synthesizing new pieces of information and creating something brand new, we need to create questions that have never been answered before. So if you don't really ask any questions, you don't have that curiosity, how are you able to learn anything new or create something that no one else has done before that's unique to yourself? So when I say ask questions, yes, ask loads of questions to people, but a lot of these questions you're going to develop within yourself. It's how you go through that trial and error process. What if I try this? What if I do that? What if I put those 2 things together? A lot of the time, the questions might come up with crap answers, but that doesn't matter because you've created new information that you can now use. Whether it worked or whether it didn't, that's still information that you could potentially use into creating brand new knowledge. Number 3, give yourself some space for creative play. Now, I can't stress this enough. This is so important. We're so used to learning by memorizing. Here's a textbook, here's all the information, memorize that, you'll gain the information, and therefore you're more intelligent. That's only just the start. You're just gaining some information. It's what you do with that information that's really important. And in order to do that, you need to encourage yourself to take a step back and have an environment where you can try new things. That's why asking questions is important, because you need the creative play to be able to ask those weird and wacky questions, which leads to creating new knowledge that no one else has done before. So just give yourself some creative play, find how you learn by taking a step back, find the right environment, and start creating new knowledge. Number 4, do not copy and paste ideas. Now, I've seen so many coaches that end up going on a weekend course and they'll learn a new way of doing things from another coach, but then they'll turn up on Monday to coach their own clients and they just copy and paste exactly what they've just learned. Now, I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but really what they should be doing is taking the bits they like, discarding the bits that they don't like, and then incorporating that into their own systems to create something new, something unique to themselves, not just copy and pasting. And that's what excellent learners do. They obtain what is good and discard what is bad or what is bad for them, and then they create something new with that information. So please, when you get new information, have a little think, am I just copy and paste what someone else is doing? Or am I putting it into my own system and my own way of new thinking and creating something brand new? Number 5, patience. Learning takes time. And what you'll find is that during your phases of life, there'll be certain times where you think you can learn more quickly than others. So for example, I was quite slow at learning certain mathematical concepts at school, but once I did a PhD in bioengineering, I found at that point I was better at learning myself. So these things I actually picked up quite easily, whereas I had teacher reports saying that I was actually quite slow back in when I was, 15, 16. People learn at different speeds, and that's okay. And it's definitely a difficulty which we find in the school system because they try and rush people through at the same time. What we need to realise is that because people learn at different speeds, we can just take things at our own time, at our own speed, and that's absolutely okay. Number 5, patience. Learning takes time, and that's absolutely okay. And people learn at different speeds, so as long as you have the patience to understand that you learn at your own speed, you can learn anything. It just might be at a different time scale as to someone else. We're always put off learning certain subjects because someone else learns it much more quickly. Ignore them, learn at your own speed, and you'll be able to get there, and then you can utilize that information in a way that's more appropriate for you because you've took the time to learn it in your own way. So everyone learns at their own speed. It's just that because people sometimes pick things up much more slowly, they think, oh, I'm not very good at this, and just stop. Whereas really, if they just kept at it, they'll be able to utilize that information, take that time to actually figure out how you learn, and then all of a sudden you've got this information that you've synthesized yourself, which you can then implement it in various different ways that no one else can. Number 6, be hyper-focused. We live in a very distractible world. We've got phones, we've got email, we've got TV. It becomes very easy to get distracted, and as soon as you're distracted, it takes a while for your brain to refocus onto the task that what you were doing. I find that the best learners just seem to have this natural ability to get into this hyper-focused state. This may come more easily to some and harder for others. For me, it can come quite hard, probably depends how tired I am. But at the end of the day, do whatever you can to try and get yourself into that hyper-focused mentality. There's loads of books on it, there's a lot of information regarding flow, but the best thing is to try and manipulate your environment to try and maximize the fact that you are trying to focus on your work and you're trying to minimize distractions. Get rid of your phone. Get into an environment which you feel encourages that creativity. Do whatever you can to remain hyper-focused on the task, and all of a sudden things will be able to develop and new ideas will be able to come much more easily. So that's my 6. Would you add any more onto that list? Let me know in the comments, and while you're there, give us a subscribe for more information regarding sports science and creativity and learning. I'll see you in the next one.